Yo, welcome to Hardcore Vibes. A full hour and a half of energy, distortion, and pounding drums that will get your adrenaline pumping. I'm Arya Desaputra, and we're going to talk about everything hardcore, its music, its community, and its spirit. If you're feeling down, tired of the daily grind, or just want to blast some high energy music that gets your blood boiling, you come to the right place. We're playing tracks from old school legend to newest hardcore bands. Let's kick things off with an anthem that never fails to fire us up. Turn up your volume to the max. This is Ring the Bell by Pretty Touch. What is hardcore? Alright, before we dive into today's music playlist, let's talk about hardcore. For those of you know to the skin, hardcore is this music, it's a movement, way of life, and a community built on resistance. The genre evolved from punk rock in the late 70s, but with a faster, more aggressive, and angrier approach. But it's not just about blind rage, it's about anger toward injustice, corruption, and interference. Bands like Minor Threat, Bad Brains, Black Flag, and Agnostic Front were the pioneer who pushed hardcore to the forefront. They didn't wait for major labels. They recorded, produced, and distributed their music. That's the DIY, do it yourself spirit. Now, let's blast a song from one of the most influential hardcore band of all the time. Here's Hardcore isn't just one sound over the years. It has evolved into multiple subgenres. Each with it is its own distinct style. Let's break down a few major one. One, old school hardcore. This fast, simple punk influence like Minor Threat and Black Flag. Two, metalcore. Heavy riff brutal breakdowns, a fusion of metal and hardcore. Bands like Parkway Drive uh, and Killswitch Engine. Beatdown hardcore. Slower, heavier, and full of rising beatdowns. Bands like Knocked Loose, Nasty, and everything. Melodic hardcore, still intense, but with emotional melodies and lyric. Bands like Have Heart and Counterparts. Which hardcore style do you prefer? Hit us up on WhatsApp or DM on Instagram. For now, let's check out a track the perfectly represents metalcore energy. Here's the song. Now, it's time to hear you from you. We ask you to send question and song request via Instagram and we've got some awesome response. Now, let's dive into some of the latest news from the hardcore world. We've got some fresh album drops, upcoming tours, and news attend hardcore event.
This happened at an apartment complex along the Gulf Freeway in southeast Houston. Our Vincent Corelli has been talking to investigators and joins us live. And Vince, we understand a teenager who survived that home invasion is now hospitalized.
Next up, we're finding a track from one of the coolest neo hardcore release, this song.
Get the fuck out!
Hardcore is the most in this music, it's the mindset. Here are some core values and that define the scene. One is the idea spirit. Do it yourself, don't wait for permission, make it happen. Two, solidarity and respect. Hardcore is a community and supporting each other is key. Three, no racism, no sexism, and no homophobia. Hardcore stand against all forms of discrimination. 4. Stay true. Don't follow trends. Stay committed to what you believe in. If you want to truly understand hardcore, keep this principle in mind. Now, let's crank up another anthem for all your who live and breathe the scene. Here's song. Then, thanks already time for buy that is it for this episode of Hardcore Vibes. I hope you're feeling kept up and ready to take on the world. Remember, hardcore isn't just about headbanging, it's about making a difference. I'm Arya Saputra, signing off. Keep inspired, live, stay hardcore, and I'll catch you next week. Yo, goodbye. Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lost Footage News. It trust source for the latest and the most important news from Indonesia and around the world. And I am Arya Saputra. Tonight we will be discussing a critical financial policy that will affect every citizen. The increase in value debt tax of what from 11% to 12%. As we all know, taxation plays a crucial role in country's economy. It funds public infrastructure, supports government programs, and ensures the stability of national development. However, whenever tax increase, there is always concern about the impact on the economy and the people. The Indonesian government has justified this tax hike as a necessary step to boost state revenue and strengthen the economic stability. But what does this mean for the average consumer? How will business adapt? Tonight, we will take a deep dive into the fact increase, examining the perspective of economists, business owner, government official, and the general public. We will also explore what measures, if any, are being taken to minimize the burden on low-income citizens and small users. Okay, this policy has sparked mixed reactions. Some argue that I is a necessary adjustment for long-term economic growth, while others worry about its immediate impact on the cost of living. To understand the full picture, we will bring you expert analysis, real-life testimonies, and government responses. Stay with us. We uncover the implication of the new policy and what it meant for Indonesia's future. The Indonesian government has obviously raised the Fed rate from 11% to 12%, a move that is in line with the long-term fiscal policy laid out in the National Medium-Term Development Plan. The government states that this increase is necessary to strengthen state revenues, reduce the budget deficit, and ensure the sustainability of public spending. According to Ministry of Finance, Indonesia tax to GDP ratio remains lower than that of many other countries, meaning that the government collect less tax revenue compared to the size of the economy. By increasing VAT, the government aims to bring Indonesia tax revenue closer to international standard. In a recent statement, Finance Minister said this VAT adjustment is a crucial step to ensure the Indonesian continue to fund infrastructure projects. Without an increase in revenue, the government would have to really mount on debt, which could hurt the economy in the long run. However, despite the government's justification, many people are questioning whether this is the right time for such a policy, given that many Indonesians are still recovering financially from the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. Impact of consumer. One of the most immediate effect on the fund increase will be on consumer price. Everyday necessities including food, clothing, household goods, and utilities are expected to become more expensive. A survey conducted by the Indonesian Consumer Protection Foundation found that 65% of respondents was concerned about the rising cost of living due to the Fed hike. Many fear the wage will not increase at the same rate as price, putting additional financial strain on low and middle income families. Let's hear from some member of the public. One resident of Jakarta said her concern my daily expenses are already high. With the increase, I don't know how I will manage. Every little price increase and up, and for people like me who have a fixed income, it's difficult. Another consumer, a father of two, expressed his frustration. He said, I understand that the government needs more revenue, but why does it always have to come from ordinary people? Large corporations should be taxed more, not us. In addition to direct price increase, there is also the concern of inflation. Economic analysts warn the higher VAT can contribute to overall inflation for further reducing people purchasing power and slowing down economic growth. Impact on usage. While consumers are directly affected by rising price, businesses are also facing challenges due to the Fed increase. Many companies, particularly small and medium enterprises, operate on this profit margin and may struggle to absorb the additional tax costs. Some businesses will be forced to raise prices, which could lead to a decline in consumer demand. Others might try to keep prices the same by cutting costs as elsewhere, such as reducing staff rates or laying off employees. A restaurant owner in Bandung explained, we are already struggling with high ingredient costs.
If we raise our price, we might lose customer. But if we don't, we won't be able to sustain our business. Retailers are also feeling the pressure. A clothing shop owner in Sulawesi State. Customers are very price sensitive. Even small increase can make a difference in the buying decision. I'm worried that this tax hike will drive away customers. Large industries such as manufacturing and logistics may also face higher operational costs, which could be passed on the customer. This can create a ripple effect, making goods across various sectors more expensive. Government response and mitigation measures. The government has acknowledged this concern of public and business community. To address the issues, officials have introduced several measures aimed at reducing the negative impact of the Fed increase. For lower-income citizens, the government has promised to expand social assistance programs including subsidies for essential goods and the cash aid. There also plans to introduce tax exemption for certain basic necessities and ensure the poor segment for society are not disproportionately affected. Corporate tax rates for certain industrial and financial aid programs to help business transition to the new tax system. However, critics argue that these measures are not enough. Many believe that the government should focus on improving tax collection efficiency rather than raising tax rates. Indonesia still struggles with issues such as tax evasion and large informal economy, which reduce overall tax revenue. Will this policy ultimately benefit Indonesia's economy in the long run, or will it place an indiscipline on consumer of business? Only time will tell. We will continue to monitor this issue and bring you the latest update. Thank you for staying with us tonight. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you again in the next edition of Lost Footage News. Good night. Hello, good evening, and welcome to our Sport Now coverage. I'm Arya Disaputra, and tonight we're bringing you an exciting highlight of the thrilling football match that just wrapped up at the Soekarno-Hatta Stadium, where Team 1 faced off against Team 2. But teams had high hopes for this game, and what an incredible match it turned out to be. So let's go over everything that happened. The match started off with high energy as the teams were eager to take control. Team 1 kicked off the game and immediately began pushing forward, showing their attacking intent. Their first few passes were quick, but Team 2 stood strong in defense. The first major change came in the 10 minutes when player named from Team 1 fired a powerful shot just wide of the post. It was a close call, and the fans on edge of their seats were hoping that will be the start of something big. Next, on the first goal. But just minutes later, the breakthrough came for Team 1. It all started with a brilliant corner kick taken by Cristiano Ronaldo, who sent the ball perfectly into the box, rising above the defender. Uh, Leaped into the air and connected with the ball with a powerful header. The goalkeeper of Team 2 tried to get a hand to it, but it was too strong. The ball went into the back of the net, and just like that, and Team 1 was in the lead. The crowd erupted as the home team celebrated, and it was clear that Team 1 had taken an early advantage. And next, Team 2 responds. However, Team 2 was going to sit back and accept defeat. After conceding the goal, they began to pick up their game, playing with more confidence. They had their first real chance in 20 minutes when Team 2 unleashed a thunderous shoot from outside the box. The ball was heading toward the top corner, but Team 1's goalkeeper pulled off an incredible save, stretching to his full height to keep it out. It was a crucial moment in the match. And Team 2? No. They had to capitalize on their chance soon. Next, near misses and halftime. As the first half progressed, both teams had their fair share of opportunities, but the match stayed 1-0 in favor on Team 1. Team 2 tried to break through the defense with some creative passing, but Team 1's defender uh, led by defender held from and blocked several crosses. With just a few minutes remaining in the first half, player Team 2 nearly found the equalizer with a stunning free kick from 25 yards out. The ball flew just inches over the crossbar. It was another close call, but Team 1 held on to their slim lead going into break. Halftime analysis. At halftime, the score was 1-0 on favor Team 1, but this game was far from over. Both teams had shown moments of the brilliance, and you could sense that Team 2 was ready to make a comeback. The second half promised to be full of action, and both managers would have been discussing strategies during the break, trying to figure out how to turn the game in their favor. Uh, and what a second half! We got just 10 minutes into second half. Team 2 made a chance bringing on the Frisian up the attack. It worked almost immediately. In the 55 minutes, player Team 2 found himself in the space on the right wing and delivered a perfect cross into the box. Player Team 2 was there to meet in and headed the ball past the goalkeeper, leaving the score at 1-1. The away fans went wild, and we could feel the momentum shifting as Team 2 celebrate their hard-earned goal. Next end-to-end action after the equalizer, the game became even more intense. Both teams seemed to throw everything into the attack. Team 1 responded quickly and nearly regained the lead in the 63 minute when player named Team 1 dribbled past to defender and took a shot only to be denied the goalkeeper. Team 2 Who made another stunning save. The game was now wide open, and every pass and shoot had the crowd on their toes. You could tell the both teams were desperate for the 3 point, but the tension was building as the match ascended its final stage. Uh, so the penalty moment, then in the 18th minute, a controversial moment turned the match in favor of Team One. Matt ran into the penalty area and was brought down by a tackle from behind. The referee didn't hesitate and points straight to the penalty spot. The crowd held their breath as Team One's captain stepped up to take the penalty. There was no doubt about it. This was the moment that could decide the match. With the goalkeeper to the spot, Captain Kelmy planted by the ball on the spot and stuck it low to the right. The goalkeeper dove, the, dove to the left and the ball hit the back of the net. It was 2-1 to Team One, and the stadium erupted in celebration. Final in 10 minutes, with only 10 minutes remaining, Team 2 nailed the head to push forward if they were to have any hope of equalizing. They drew everything at Team 1, but the home team's defense was strong. Team 1 kept Team 2 at the bay, blocking shots and clearing crosses, while also creating a few dangerous counter-attacks of their own. In the final minutes, Team 2 tried their best to break down Team 1's defense, but goalkeeper Team 1 made a crucial save in a dying moment of the match to preserve the lead. The final whistle blew and the score remained 2-1. There it is. Hard-fought victory for Team One. Walker would take a 3 point from this trailing adventure. The final score 2-1 gave Team One a much-needed boost in the standing as they continued their push for league position. For Team 2, it's a low close, but they can take help from their strong second half performance. They'll need to work on finishing their chance and defending more solidly in the next game. What made this shift been were some incredible moments, brilliant goal and consistent save from both sides. Team One was honorably a standout player making a real impact on both ends of the pitch, while Team 2 showed just how important a good goalkeeper can be with some top class save. That's wrapped up our coverage of today's match between Team 1 and Team 2. Will continue to follow the progress of both teams and bring you all the latest football news. So, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Arin Saputra, and we'll see you the next time for more football action. Good night. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, comrades, fellow worker, and all those fighting for justice. Good night. Today, we stand together in solidarity, resistance, and defiance as we raise our voice against exploitation, oppression, and the tyranny of the ruling class. We, we are here because we believe in the power of workers' self-organization. We are here because we know that real change does not come from politicians or corporation. It comes from the worker, from the people, from those who build society but are exploited by those who control it. We are not here to beg for reforms. We are not here to ask for better treatment from the bosses. We are here to demand what is rightfully our control over our own labor, our workplace, and our future. This protest is not just about words. It is about action. It is about showing that we, the workers, have the power to shut down industries, disrupt the system, and reclaim our dignity. Today, we march under the banner of anarcho-syndicalism, a movement that rejects the power of the state and capital and puts power back into the hand of worker. So, let's make our voice heard. Let's show them that we are not afraid. Let's fight for the world we want to see. Why we are here? The crisis of capitalism. Comrades, we are here because the capitalist system has failed us. One, wages are stagnant while on cost of living skyrockets. Two, billionaires accumulate unimaginable wealth while millions struggle to survive. Three, corporations extract our labor, exploit our research, and then discard use like garbage. Four, government do not serve the people. They serve the banks, the bosses, and the ruling elite. The system is not broken. It was designed to work against us. Good, but we have a solution. Anarcho-syndicalism teaches us that we don't need bosses. We do not need rules, and we do not need oppressive system. We the workers can organize and run society ourselves through cooperation, mutual aid, and direct action. Let's join it together. Who makes society run? We do. We create the wheel? We do. Who should control it? We solve worker struggle and direct action. Now, to speak on the importance of direct action and how workers around the world are resisting, please welcome. Let's make some noise. Let them hear you loud and clear. No bosses, no matters, no work rule faster. Solidarity forever. The worker can win. When we strike to win. Next, let's hear from we will talk about how workers can organize outside of traditional unions and build autonomous, militant and democratic organization based on anarcho-syndicalism principle. Comrades, speeches are important but actions speak louder than words. We are not here to just complain. We are here to fight back. So, what can we do after this protest? One, organize at your workplace, talk your co-workers, discuss wages, working conditions, and collective action. Two, support independent worker movement. The mainstream unions are often tied to political parties and bureaucracy. We need direct democracy in our unions. Three, educate and spread the word. Many workers feel hopeless because they don't know there is an alternative. Talk about anarcho-syndicalism. Engage in direct action. Strikes, slowdowns, occupations, sabotage, workers have power when we refuse to obey. We do not wait for permission, we take action. Chance and solidarity pledge. The bosses need us, we don't need them. If we can have it, shut it down. Worker, unit, strike and fight. Now, let's raise our fist and take a pledge of solidarity. We take workers stand together in the fight against capitalism and oppression. We will not be divided by race, gender, or nationality. We will stand in solidarity with our comrades across the world. We will take action because no one will give us freedom. We must seize it ourselves. Final call to action. Comrades, we have made your voice heard today. But this is only the beginning. Revolution is not a single. Even it is a process, a movement, a continuous, a struggle. Anarcho-syndicalism is future. The bosses and the politicians are afraid of because they know that when workers rise up, their system will collapse. They when used to believe we are powerless but truth is we hold the power. We build the cities, we produce the goods, we run the factories, we grow the food. And if you refuse the work, their system dies. So let's take his energy, let's take this fire, and let's carry it forward. Organize, resist, and fight for liberation. War streets, our streets, was power, worker power. War we will, he will win. Solidarity forever. End of game. Thank you. Hello, good evening Jakarta. A warm welcome to all of viewers joining us for this extent in deep Jakarta weather forecast. I'm Arya Saputra, your trusted weather anchor, and for the next 1.5 hours, we will bring you the most accurate and comprehensive meteorological insights to help you plan your activities, understand long-term climate patterns, and prepare for any upcoming extreme weather event. Today agenda. What we will cover. 1. Current real-time weather condition in Jakarta and surrounding areas. 2. Hourly weather updates for the next 24 hours. 3. A comprehensive 7-day extreme forecast. 4. The impact of weather on Jakarta traffic, business, and daily life. 5. In-depth discussion on climate change and its effect on Jakarta seasons. 6. Extreme weather history in Jakarta. Listen from past flood, heat wave, and storms. 7. Safety measures, how to stay protected during extreme weather event. 8. Live interview with an expert meteorologist on long-term climate prediction. And 9. Viewers to an I session. You must present with a written concern present. Without further ado, let's begin with our first begin, the current weather condition. Let's start with the latest real-time weather condition in Jakarta. 1. Temperature and humidity. Current temperature 30 degrees Celsius. Feels like 33 degrees Celsius due to high humidity levels at 75%. Heat index is high, which means the prolonged outdoor exposure may lead to heat stress.
Next, wind and atmospheric condition. Wind speed 15 km per hour from the southwest, and barometric pressure stable weather with no immediate storm threat. Next, visibility 7 kilometers slightly reduced due to humidity and light drizzle in some areas. Air quality and pollution level. Air quality index 100 and moderate. Sensitive group including children and elderly individual. Should limit outdoor activities. Next, high pollution level recorded in Tamrin, Sudirman, and Pluit, primarily due to vehicle emission. Traffic and commuting impact, like rain in East and North Jakarta, may cause slippery roads and minor delays. No major disruption report for public transportation or air travel. Live with a cam. Switch to live satellite footage of Jakarta's skyline, key roadways, or high traffic intersection. Hourly weather forecast. Analyzing the weather hour by hour allows us to prepare for the night and early morning. Let's take a closer look at the next 24-hour forecast. Time 7 p.m. Temperature like rain, wind speed 15 km per hour. 8 p.m. Condition cloudy 14 km per hour. And in 26 degrees Celsius with condition clear sky 8 km per hour. In 3 a.m. Temperature will 24 degrees Celsius with condition cloudy, wind speed 4 km per hour. Key takeaways for the night. Rain will gradually subside after 9 p.m. with dry conditions expected from midnight onwards. Temperature will drop steadily but remains above 24 degrees Celsius, making for a mild and humid night. 3. Wind will weaken, leading to calmer but slightly warmer early morning hours. Sorry. If you have early morning travel plans, the best for commuting would be between 5 p.m. and 7 a.m. as roads are expected to be dry with low wind speed. Extended 7-day for looking even further ahead. Let's break down Jakarta's 7-day weather outlook, providing a comprehensive overview of expected trends. 7. Weather alerts. Wednesday and Sunday expect heavy thunderstorm and possible flash floods in low-lying area. Climate change and Jakarta weather pattern. Climate change has had a significant impact on Jakarta weather patterns over the years. The city has seen 1. Rising temperatures due increased urbanization. 2. More frequent flood due to unpredictable rainfall patterns. 3. Longer dry season leading drought monsoon. Historical climate data. Hottest temperature recorded 37 degrees Celsius and highest rainfall record in day. What we can do: reducing emission, implementing green infrastructure, improving drainage system to mitigate flooding. Live interview with meteorologist. Guys, Dr. Budi Santoso, expert in climate change and meteorology. Topic discussion: how climate change affect Jakarta rainy and dry seasons. 2. What weather change to expect in the next decade. 3. How residents can prepare for extreme weather. That's all for today Jakarta weather forecast. Stay safe and prepared. Follow me in Instagram Arya Adi Saputra. Arya Adi Saputra. This is Arya signing off. Good night Jakarta and see you again. Yo, bye.